Hey guys, we're the Inwits.
We are. I'm Jack.
I'm Robin. Welcome back to another season of Australian Survivor. This is epic. We're 2 episodes in. We are shooting really late at night on a Friday because we want to get it out there and don't want to leave it too late because by the time we get a chance to do this, the other episodes are going to air.
Yeah.
You know how it is with Australian Survivor. It's episode. So here we are, Contenders versus Champions. Champions versus Contenders. What are your first thoughts on our cast?
I was really concerned before the start of the season. I was worried that we might have, say, D-grade actors whose careers had fallen over.
Yeah, who, I'm like an F-grade actor.
Yeah, well,
but if there's D-grades on, I should have made it.
Yeah.
That's the elephant in the room. I'm here. I'm not on it again, which I bloody wish I was.
We told them that last season of the
American.
I know,
we did say that, but I now even more so because when I found the news of Russell and I wasn't bloody on.
No, you've blown it.
Anyway, they know it's there. They've watched it. So that's what I want to get to. I want to get to the big announcement that was Russell. Well, firstly,
anyway, to sum up, I was really happy with the choice of champions.
Yeah, agreed. I thought the champion choices were not D-grade. I loved. We've got a nice range. I do like. There's a poker player. Yep. There's the lawyer, barrister, and the CEO.
Yeah.
So we've got not CEO. Sorry, I wish there was a CEO. The astrophysicist.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice too.
I think it's a great choice. It's someone who's that's always going to be standard, but it's high end.
Oh no, but Miss Universe, it's like
so we do cover a nice broad range with the champions.
We've got some footy players. We've got a rugby league player.
Couple of athletes.
A few other. We got
Commando
from Biggest Loser.
Questionable whether he should be in or not. He's probably
I'm okay with him.
I'm okay with him,
but I don't think the reason I'm okay is because I don't think he was chosen because he's a failed D-grade.
Yeah, he's no longer a reality TV host.
He's in there because of his strength,
and his military stuff, which brings us to Damien, who's
Damien.
Really
I think is a great choice.
Great choice, yeah, agreed. And then we have Russell.
Who is awesome.
We love Russell here. Yes, I do love my Aussies. I do love my hero kind of character. But if there was a villain I ever bloody loved, not including your Sandras and your Parvati's, obviously. If there's a villain who just is Survivor.
That's right.
It's Russell. I was so goddamn excited when I heard the news. So much so that I was in the middle of nowhere with very little reception in the middle of bloody Australia calling this guy going, guess what, Jack? Russell is on, and you didn't believe me.
I was so happy when he walked out.
What an announcement that was!
I didn't actually. I got your call, and I was like, "That's fantastic." But when he walked out, it's just, I was like blown away.
It was great because I know when we see him in that 3rd season he played, he was devastated. He's like, and he literally said, "I'm not going to play this game. I can't play this game again," because he was just burnt from it, and people just didn't give him a chance anymore.
No, exactly.
So this is the hard thing to talk about, to be so excited about Russell.
Well, it's good because we can talk about the first episode.
Well, look, we know there's spoilers. They're going to know. They're going to know Russell's gone home.
I know. You did it. You said it.
I did it again. I did it again. But
no, I'm just like, the more you say it, the more it becomes real. The more real.
We hope we can wake up, get to Monday,
and
Russell's
still there.
And you know what? I saw on the internet. I saw on the internet the other day that maybe, just maybe, like, Russell's been, like, because it said Australia 1, Russell 0.
Yeah.
And someone's like, oh, what, is Russell coming back as... Hopefully he doesn't because it ruins the game.
I don't want him to be re-injected.
But a little part of me does.
No.
Part of me does want
if we had a mechanism like, Redemption Island.
Redemption Island or something like that, yes. Give Russell that extra chance.
Absolutely.
But no, he shouldn't come back.
He shouldn't come back
as much as I want to see him back, as much as I always want to see my favourite Survivor players in history come on the show.
Oh, me too. But
he shouldn't come back.
He shouldn't come back, not in these circumstances. If Redemption Island's part of the process, that's 100%.
Fine. If he was voted out, and that was the thing, great. Happy with that. But it's not part of this season, and he should just be gone. Just because he's Russell, he shouldn't get special treatment and come back in. They shouldn't change the way the format is.
I think there's one person we haven't touched on in the Contenders who I think I'm going.
Oh, we're going first episode.
Of Champions. We skipped over a couple of champions actually, like the aerial skier. And, But Moana.
Gosh, she's great,
isn't she? I love the way she's just one of those dinky-die, straightforward.
Love her, but I hate her because she's the reason. She's a big reason.
She's like, I want to get the poison out of
I'm
here.
really going to enjoy watching her play.
Absolutely. Look, she doesn't have the comedy as you've said, right?
As a Luke style.
As a Luke, but she's got that straightforward. What you see is what you get.
Yes.
And that's what Luke was like. No bullshit. Yeah. You know what you're dealing with when you deal with Naomi.
Yeah.
She's just straight up.
Yeah, she's cool. And I like that. I also like that she's here, she's the most iconic female footy player going around.
Yeah, and she plays for Collingwood.
Oh, terrible. Terrible life decision that is.
Good life choice, man. Man, I said it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm just happy as Larry for it.
But yeah, so she's great, and there's some really great. My thing is, none of them know how to play the game.
Look, I absolutely did watch to see how many people I could see on the contender side who actually said, that's Russell when he walks out, that's Russell Hantz. I think there was about 3. So there was 3 people there who actually knew who Russell was what he meant.
But their reaction was like, that's Russell. Yeah, that's on the contender side. But if I was there and I saw Russell, my thing isn't going, is that Russell? If
you were there and you saw Russell, you'd be running over and falling over yourself.
Look, I'd have to keep my fanboyness to a certain level. They probably wouldn't hire me on the show. But the point is, knowing if Russell was there, my reaction would have been a lot bigger than, hey, is that Russell? It's like, oh my God, guys, Russell Hantz. Like,
one of the girls,
what Survivor?
One of the girls did say, oh, that's Russell. Like, significantly, as in like, it wasn't just like, she knew who he was.
I don't know if she knew him like she should know him. Russell changed the way Survivor is played.
Absolutely. Look, it was Russell Hantz, and he says this in the first episode. He was the one that changed how you go about looking for idols.
Oh, 100%.
He's the one that changed the life.
And if you're one of our very few watchers who watch our little silly YouTube show and don't have much of a Survivor history, seriously go back and find Russell's first 2 seasons. He gets to the end both times, falls short because nobody likes him. Which does bring me to... No, we're jumping too fast. We're jumping too fast.
We are.
Let's go back to episode 1.
Yeah, so
no one knows what's going on.
We've been over the champions a bit.
Let's go over
Shane
Contenders.
Gould, the swimmer, 1960s Olympian.
Really great champions, love them.
Yeah, look, I've got no problems with any of the champions.
Not disappointed with what we got with champions.
They've all...
Because we were worried. We were very, very worried.
I was. Every champion there knows what it means to overcome and adapt and survive. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've got no problem. They've all got the willpower, obviously, right?
Now we go to contenders. Now I think part of me thinks a lot of these contenders applied trying to be a champion.
Well, Matt certainly gave that impression.
Matt did when he said, I shouldn't be. This is why I shouldn't be
Why am I on this tribe? I should be on that tribe. And I'm like...
Mate, you have no idea how this game works.
When those words came out of his mouth, I was like, that's why you're over there.
Yeah, which then made me realise, you know what? The 7-8 foot tall guy probably could have gone, I'm a champion because I'm so tall. Yeah. This is the thing where people could have said they're champions and that's why they're contenders, which fair enough.
But look, the champions actually have runs on the board.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's one thing to say that you're a champion from everyday life, but if you don't have the runs on the board, there's no evidence to support. And Matt, I know policing's very difficult, and you may be a champion policeman, but
watching you with the speedo, I know they probably would have did that on purpose. I know they would have filmed that on purpose, but I've never seen a copper grab my speed, notice I'm speeding. Not that I speed. Not that I've had any. I have never had a speeding ticket.
You haven't. I haven't.
Within the last 2 weeks.
And none of our viewers have either.
No. But point is, when I have had these mystical speeding tickets, yes, they have never clocked my speed and decided to stand in front of me as I'm coming towards them speeding.
No.
There's a silly... that's my thing about that little clip of Matt with his...
it was a setup.
I know it was a setup, but who was behind that setup? Exactly. That's not how policing works. That is not how they capture.
No, they give you a kick in the ass to send you away.
That's ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But yes, so that was my thought. My other thought was, across the board, yes, the champions have runs on the board, but across the board, no one knows Survivor. And we talk about this. We do talk about
we do.
Australian Survivor being different, being a long-term investment. It's 55 days instead of the 39 that we
50 this time.
50 this time, so they've shortened it.
Yeah, it's 24 players, 50 days.
Okay. But it's a longer gameplay. So this is something maybe we're adapting to as...
Well, the one thing I'm a little surprised at, and I agree with you, I think that Look, I think there's also... I think what we've got to take into account, and this is what I always do even with American seasons, I always give them the first 2 episodes as a period of grace because they are adapting.
Yes.
It's one thing to watch a show. It's quite another to be thrown in the middle of the jungle and go, off you go. Yeah?
Yes, I hear that.
You have to get up to speed. But having seen the superlative season of Australian Survivor last season, which was excellent.
It was a great season.
It was just a fantastic season. Yeah.
And they did come out with a bit
I'm hoping they're a bit more educated about what Survivor is.
And I feel they're not this season.
Yeah,
and yes, I know we've got the first few learning curves, the first few couple of tribals where we've got to learn how to play the game.
Yeah.
But even, like when we talk about the American season, it is also slow at the start. But people are playing the game.
Yeah.
Right now, and they were playing, like you had people like Luke and you had people wheeling and dealing in the first few episodes. Yes.
Henry was right from the go. On the boat.
They was like, 100%. But they needed to learn a bit. But they were playing. Here we've got 2 tribes that are not playing the game. Yes, they've got to learn how to play, but with 3 seasons in now, who's applying for this show and not doing their research?
Well, I think on the champion side, I'm going to give them a break because they're not fans.
Yes, and they've probably been sourced by
absolutely right.
Yeah,
they've been sourced. So they're not, but also a lot of them come from team sports background.
Yes,
and the psychology of sports is interesting, and when you get told to perform at your peak, but that peak is in service to a team. So I'm not surprised that in the champions, the sort of team mentality has developed, right? But on the Contenders side, they're also doing the kumbaya, and this is the word that keeps getting spread around. Yeah. We're all sitting here having a happy time in the bush, and it's the same sort of deal over there. And if they've watched before, they should know, well, I better have a plan in place for the first tribal.
And nobody seems to.
No one seems to have a
plan. And yes, the Contenders were very lucky that you had someone like Steve, who what is he doing?
Yeah,
like if you watched enough Survivor, you know to not look for a night. First day in front of everybody.
First day in front of everyone. When you land on that beach, the one thing you do not want to do is stand out for any reason. Whether it's leading building the hut, whether it's throwing out the first name for who to vote off, whether it's looking for an idol, do not be that farm that's sticking out. Yeah,
you got to be subtle, and that was not subtle.
And Steve's the ninja.
I'm gonna blend in. No one will see me creep past them.
Only the shadow knows.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
I'm like a shadow.
We're watching you dig the hole.
And everybody's watching him. Yeah. Right? Going through all the stuff.
That was brilliant by the editing team. That was such a funny edit where he's just like, I'm going to be stealthy. I'm going to be sneaky. I can be sneaky. And we watch him.
I'm a sneaky person.
And we watch him, we legitimately watch him do that thing that you see in the cartoon where people sneak this past everyone. I'm like, we can see you. What are you doing?
I have studied Chinese military tactics.
That's not
I can be sneaky, and Matt is watching him going through all the stuff.
I'm like,
even at the challenge. Yeah, he's just like,
and he gets called out about it.
He gets called, and he keeps doing it.
So, Steve, you were lucky to still be in the game for one.
Oh, Steve, you were going home. You were the primary vote, and what you needed was a miracle, and one happened.
Yeah, one happened by another person who was delusional in the thought that he should be also part of the champions. Self-imploded.
Just detonated, didn't he?
Like, what is that?
I often say, if you're not paranoid in Survivor, then you're in the wrong headspace because you need a certain level of paranoia. But you have to be in control of it, and this guy just went from no paranoia to just put the pedal to the metal, and paranoia just.
And that's the thing. It was an easy vote. We don't.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you need to keep? Yeah, we know we're voting for, but I'm not hearing enough detail. You've got the detail. You've got it.
I said to you, I didn't. But look, I will give Matt one credit here. When he was trying to talk to them,
you are the first out. Yeah, that's your credit.
No. The other credit he had was they were all piling their votes on Steve.
Yes.
And Matt did bring up a very good point, and I'm glad he did. He said, but what happens if he has an idol? Do we have a plan B?
Yeah.
And until he said that, no, they didn't.
No one had a plan B.
And that is really basic play.
It's basic play.
Basic play. If you know somebody's out there looking for an idol, you have to have a plan B in case they got it.
And the only reason you wouldn't have a plan B is in someone like Steve's situation. He's out there looking.
Yeah, hard.
If he'd found it, 100% he wouldn't look anymore.
That's the other side, isn't it?
He's not playing the game where he's
true.
got it and he's out there still pretending to look.
Yeah.
So, did you need a plan B? I don't think you need a plan B with someone. Yes.
We know that from looking at the thingo, but I would.
For safety.
Yeah, for
100%.
safety, you've got to have a plan B. You've got to say to, 5 of us are voting. Steve, you 3, put your name on.
Even just 2, because Steve's on his own. We
Steve's
know everyone's piling up against Steve.
Yeah.
Like, that's a given. We all want Steve out.
That's right.
Sweet.
Right?
So let's just get 2 votes so Steve can't get more than 2 votes.
That's right.
That's it.
But
3 if you're worried about him having an extra vote.
Matt, you saved Steve. I have to say that to you, Matt. Go back with your gameplay and realise
somehow
you
search the
saved
internet,
Steve.
find our little show, and realise that you kept Steve in the game.
Exactly.
If you haven't realised that already.
Yeah, Steve would have been out. Matt's
stupid tribal council
performance at that tribal council, I believe, is what swung the vote his way. I think what they've gone is stick to the plan, and 2 of them gone, us 2 will swing our vote on the Matt, and it's a done deal. And that's all that happened. Every time he opened his mouth in tribal council, he got deeper.
Yeah, he didn't stop.
And
that's the thing. It's like I don't know the names yet, and we all know I suck with names. I'm actually better with the contender, the obviously champion names because they're people we've seen consistently in the media. But that chick said, "Yeah, I did stick to the plan. The plan to she did say something that was like the plan was."
Oh, the plan that we made with the boys to vote off who we wanted to get rid of.
Oh, yeah, the plan that we made because we're not thinking about the game. Or whatever she said.
We're not playing the game.
We're not playing
the game. We made when we weren't playing the game.
This is the plan we made when we weren't playing the game. Yeah. So, you're silly to... You just dug a hole. You could have been really cool and calm, especially if there's a given.
Absolutely. Look, I think his biggest mistake there was just...
Thinking too much?
Well, no, I think what he did was... The problem for him was he said... You guys, and he included all the other guys except for himself in there, right? And he said, you girls, and he included all the girls in that group.
That was his plan.
And his statement was, all you guys have made the decision, you girls haven't made any. That would piss me off.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting there playing the game, I would be like, okay, you're out.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially in this day where there is such an amazing feminist movement, like all these... I forget the actual hashtag, which is terrible. But it's about women gaining power, and you just go on. All you women have been sitting there doing nothing,
passively doing nothing.
Yeah, doing nothing. All right. If I was a female, I'd be like,
But even take away the feminism, right? I mean, just me as an agent, I'd be like, and the way he did it to the boys too, he was like, oh, they're all got a bromance going on. I'm like. How do you know I'm not playing my game? And it's in my interest to have the bromance at the moment.
It was just...
It's such a simple... What I'm trying to get at is he's labelled 2 groups and he's given them simple-minded. He's made them simple-minded. That's really insulting.
Yeah, it was insulting to everyone.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, that's true. He just
insulted everyone. And that's why he went home. Yeah. And he just kept digging.
And he didn't need to.
All he had to do at council was sit there, shut up, and watch Steve go home.
Yeah, and watch Steve do what Steve does best and go home.
Yeah.
But Steve survived and gets to survive again because they didn't win the next... Exactly. They won the next immunity.
Yeah. Oh, look, I think... unless something drastic happens over in Contenders, like another detonation, I think Steve's the next easy vote for them.
Steve's an easy vote. And, I just don't see that he would be able to get himself out of the situation that he put himself in. I don't think he has that capability. He has to really
Well, he has done, in one sense...
a lot of damage.
But he has done, in a different way, but he's done... remember that player in the first season? The Australian guy...
no, I do not.
He came out and tried to be friends with everybody.
Oh, Matt.
Matt.
No, not Matt. Not Matt. Nick.
No, not Nick. Nick was the guy who'd lied about the clue.
God. Yes, I know who you...
You know who I meant. AJ, right?
AJ,
He's pulled an AJ. He's basically played very badly on the first day.
Yeah, and now
AJ did an excellent job of getting himself out of that, right?
Yeah, he was very lucky to backpedal.
Steve doesn't seem to have that capacity at this stage, so I don't think
his backpedaling was the next episode. I'm just going to skinny dip with the dudes.
Yeah.
Let's just all
I'm going to get into bromance, and I'm like, that's not how it works.
Look, you can try.
But what I mean is like whipping your speedos off and going for a dip with the guys.
Yeah.
Doesn't make you a part of the
It doesn't bring you in.
No, it doesn't bring you in.
He's got a lot of damage control.
Yeah, exactly.
I personally don't think he can get out of it.
I don't either. I think the problem there is that day one stigma is really large. You have to work incredibly hard. Now, even when AG did pull it off, it took him four episodes or something to do it.
It took him till the merge to almost get back. Before he just went out before the merge, didn't he?
No, he went out after the merge.
But it took him a long time to
took him
finally
a long
get a chance.
time.
And I just don't think Steve has that capability. The only thing that may be in his favour is that the one person that was kind of really annoyed that he was looking for stuff more than anyone else is no longer in the game.
That's true.
So that could actually work to his favour.
That could. Look at
because the other one's just like, it's just Steve. We don't. Yeah. He's not a threat to us. Who's a threat?
That's
so there is a chance that he could survive.
That's the only. That's his best option, is to actually sink into the background, become a name that does not get mentioned in relation to anything.
Yeah.
And hope somebody else's name starts to crop up.
Yeah.
You know, and then that way you vanish. Mm-hmm. He does his sneaky, vanish into the background, and then he'll survive.
That's his best way. That's his best way of being sneaky, is to just vanish.
Just vanish.
And just
be unremarkable.
Yeah, and no one will notice you because
somebody says, go and get some water, you go get the water. Yeah, and you don't say anything. No. You just go and do it, right?
And that's a valiant strategy that won season. That was the winner of season 1.
Exactly, right? And if he just sits there in the background, sooner or later, if there really is a bromance, it will implode. Yeah. Or the girls will go, hang on, there really is a bromance, and then they'll break it up. Yeah, right now
the three lads are pretty content on trying to take out some champions.
Right? But, you know, that's where what Steve's got to wait for, because when the girls decide that the bromance is real and it has to be broken up, then there's a vote they can count on.
Yes.
And they'll come to him.
Yeah.
And that's your end.
So he might not be out. I feel like he would be, but
I think his problem is, if they lose in the next 2 episodes, I think he's just the easy vote.
He's the easy vote. If they still need an easy vote, like if they want to keep strength, he's very easy.
Easy vote, yeah.
But that brings us to episode... No, well, Russell. Firstly, in episode 1, Russell comes and does what Russell does best. X marks the spot, bang, gets an idol, which is what we want. That's what we want when you get... Especially when you're playing with... You're getting Russell to play down here. You're wanting... You're really wanting him to shake up the game. Granted, I love Russell.
Love Russell.
The best villain around. Yeah. Because nobody likes him.
Absolutely.
Nobody likes him.
But look, I sat there and I thought to myself, look, one thing I've always, I criticise Ty a lot, but one thing I've never criticised about Ty is his ability to find idols.
Yeah.
His ability to play them is absolutely horrible, right?
Yeah.
But Russell knows what to do with my idols. He knows how to go and look for something.
And the only person who really outsmarted him idol-wise was Parvati. Right. And Parvati's very, very clever.
Very smart.
And she's a winner.
Yeah, she's a winner.
Now, here's the thing about like I said, can't say it enough. I bloody love Russell. One of the few, like, obviously there's some villains that I don't class as, like, villains. Like, I'm talking your mean, evil villains. Yeah. Which is top tier Russell.
Yeah.
Is he a champion, though?
Oh, yes. No,
he isn't.
Sorry, he hasn't won.
He hasn't won.
No,
so technically,
You're right.
Technically, he's the best runner-up Survivor has ever seen.
Absolutely.
So does he fall in the champions? Yes, I loved him that he's in the show. I thought that was a great pull, but
I think he does fall into the champions for one very good reason, right? Even though he's never won, he's been to the end twice.
And he's lost both times.
He has lost both times. Doesn't make him a champion. But, well, there we go. It is a failing. The social side of his game is a failure.
And in 3 seasons.
Yeah, well...
Now 4, the 3rd season, he still would have played the same way. He was upset that he didn't get a chance.
No, I'm just saying that it was stacked.
It was, yes, exactly. He really had very little chance.
He had no chance.
And he had, again, coming here, also had very little chance. Australia versus America. He's by himself. He's already alone, and he has to play hard.
I think Russell's natural habitat, if you like, from here on out, would be, say, another All-Star season.
Yeah.
That's where he's going to survive, because the other players are going to be thinking, I'm just as good.
Yeah, if he was on the season with in Game Changers,
exactly,
he is a game changer.
He is a game changer,
and he probably just was too. Like,
well, look what he does in episode 2 to the Champions tribe.
Yeah, bang,
bang. Let's shake this up. Let's break it open.
And now I disagree with what he did, because we've always said, always say this every season, and I'm so sad to be saying this
about
Russell. But what do you do when you get an idol? You don't tell anyone. And what have you done when you've played your idol so well, Russell? You've never told anyone.
That's true. Look, but
I understand.
I understand why he did.
Process.
And this is why I don't blame him so much. It was a risk. He knew what he was. And this is the thing, though. Russell knew what he was doing because he actually said when he pulled it out, I could have played this secretly and sent home the person I wanted to. And my instant thought, like yours at that stage, was, yes, that's what you should have done, Russell.
My thought still to this day, even though he's gone, he should have done that.
Should have done that. Because if Russell knew he was the easy out, right, he knows he's going to collect the majority of the votes. All he needs is 2 or 3 other people, and he knows he can send someone home. So, and Russell's capable of that.
Yeah, and this is the thing with Russell that I want to just break down a bit, and I've been obviously stewing over for 2 days now. Well, no, just the 2 days in this, just with this gameplay here. Since that happened, well, it happened last night, sorry. So 24 hours I've been stewing over this.
Well, yeah, go.
He wanted to shake things up, and I understand the reason he did that, but I don't understand the reason for not hiding it, because and Matt just went, we haven't been playing this game.
Exactly.
We are so far behind.
He's been playing for 3 days and we haven't.
We haven't. Now, if he was not to show anyone that idol, and he just played it his way, everyone stacks the vote against him. Because they wouldn't have done any strategy because they haven't thought about that.
They haven't thought about it.
They haven't thought about strategy. So you've got one freebie.
And that's where, the astrophysicist at council was dead wrong. He said, oh, well, he plays the idol this time and gets voted out next. No, that's not the way Survivor works.
Not always. Yes, this is the thing. Yes, with Russell, you probably would go for him again next week. Russell hasn't...
But that's
a knack for finding an idol, but
Absolutely.
It's a risk. It's a risk to go, well, what if I don't find it within 3 days?
He also has a knack for finding cracks.
Yeah. My thing was, if he was to not show everyone, but just
play it his way,
the way he's always played it, and granted, his strategy still was not the strategy. I would have just liked him to be cool. Just play the underdog here.
Yeah, true.
Go, I'm just going to see how you guys play. Come tribal cancel. I'm probably the easy vote. I think I'll probably be going home. I haven't really been able to build connections. Anyone got an idol?
But actually, just with that statement, I think you've hit the nail on the head as to why he played it the way he did. And I think this is a major part of his thought process was, I think Russell was genuinely disappointed that nobody was playing. Everybody was doing the team thing. Like, we're all here to pull together. We're going to do this together. We're all great together. And I think Russell at that stage had probably tried to suss out some people as to alliances, strategies, like he did with the model.
And I thought, Monica. I thought Monica and Sam.
Yeah, Monica and Sam. Right.
I thought he's got his 2. Usually he gets 2 girls, but he's gone for the 2. But they're usually the weaker of the team.
Yes.
Sam is the weakest of that.
Yes.
I mean, it's Sam. Yes, he's got an incredible mind,
but
of course.
That's all.
But you're up against the other guys on the team are bloody athletes.
That's right.
Sam's the weakest, and Monica.
But nothing came of that.
Nothing did come of that.
And I think that's what was frustrating Russell at the end of the day, because on American Survivor, he knows that even on day 1, he would be able to find people who would be willing to do stuff.
And they weren't. And I think they weren't more so because he was American. And he'd played... I think him playing the game wasn't as much of the fact that he was a cocky, arrogant American.
Yeah, I think so.
And Australians don't like cocky, arrogant Americans. I even saw someone on the internet say goodbye, baby Trump.
Really?
Yeah, they related Russell Hantz to Donald Trump.
Donald Trump's nothing like Russell
Hantz. It's like Russell just really loves the game of Survivor. If you know Russell... Yes, he's a villain, but he doesn't care about the money.
Somebody who's never watched Russell Hantz play the game.
He's a millionaire. He doesn't care about the money. He just loves the game and he wants to win. But if he was to not play it, let it slide. Just change. Russell's aggressive. He's always been aggressive, and it's not worked for him.
It was a very aggressive move to show it.
So aggressive, and again, the only person that could potentially pull that off. Look,
there's 2 people I would count on. Sandra.
To Russell. Play and Russell. Yeah. There are other top tier players that Boston Rob might be able to do something like
Sarah.
that. There are some really top tier players.
But they're very few and far between.
But your Russells and your Sandras, you'd probably go, they know what they're thinking ahead.
They know what they're... Look, I fully believe Russell knew what he was doing when he did it, right? And it was a ploy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you brought up an interesting comment when we were watching that about the double bluff.
Yeah.
And that's another possibility with Russell. You know, I'm going to say, I've got this idol, I'm going to play it, and then he'll play it.
And he should have.
And he should have, but that would have been the double bluff.
That would,
right?
But that's the only play you have when you show an idol. And we've discussed that. Yeah. We've discussed that time and time again. Once you show it, you've got no other option. Come in, have it around your neck, do whatever you want to do, play the bloody flute, whatever you got to do, but you got to play it because you've basically forced your own hand.
You have forced your own hand.
You've gone all in, and if you've gone all in on a bluff, you're not. It's not. It's too. Like you said, you were watching it going. This could go. It's a bold move, and I like his thinking, but the chips are stacked against him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they are. And when they're stacked against you, why do that to yourself? And
look, he would have written himself into Survivor history if he had pulled it.
Oh, he would have.
Because that would have been one of the most brilliant moves I've ever seen in Survivor.
Oh, I think there's been it's. I just think he played the bluff, and I think.
No. But what I'm saying is, if he could have actually gotten the votes off himself,
which was great,
that would have been.
He did get a
magic.
Few off him.
He got a lot, actually.
He got most of them off, but Moana and her girls weren't going to let that happen.
Yeah, that's true.
So
looks like, and from that, one of the interesting things about the council was Moana and Jackie were looking at each other a lot.
Because they were both against him, and you know
what?
but
I'm just wondering if that's maybe a formation of an alliance.
You know what I think it is? I think it comes down to. I reckon the Aussies would have talked quite a bit about Russell.
Oh, I think they would have talked non-stop when he wasn't there.
I reckon his fake ex-wife wedding ring thing, I loved it.
I think it was a good ploy.
I loved it, but don't do it to two people while they're still in the game.
No, I wouldn't have done that. I would have done it to one person who was key.
And then get rid of them. And
I would have picked a key individual and gone, I really need them.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull it with them and then say nothing else.
And don't need to pull it with another person because that backfires on you all the time. Yeah. Do it with one. And then when they're gone, they might keep that to themselves. But when people start talking, the more people that know information, the more trouble you're going to get yourself in.
Absolutely.
Now, two people have heard about this wife story. That can spread, and there's talk. And they're all going to be wanting to get... Again, he's arrogant. And if Russell toned down his arrogance just for 3 days, get his idol... Play the idol without anyone knowing.
Actually, you're making a good point because really, when Tony went on to do Game Changers, now Tony's a very successful player, right? But he made exactly the same mistake that Russell did in one sense. He showed his hand.
Yep.
And then went, okay, well, vote me off if you, basically, here's my hand, do what you can. They voted him off.
Yeah.
It's just the end.
Yeah, you can't.
I think Russell's got to realise, now, and Season 3 should have clued him in, right? You're up against it, Russell, so from now on, you don't have to be bolder, you have to be sneakier. You have to be bolder, but you have to be bolder in a sneaky way.
You have to evolve. Your strategy needs to evolve, and this is my biggest frustration because I love Russell, and his strategy didn't evolve. Yeah. He straight away went to Monica and Sam, the two weakest people, get him under. We know it. That's what he does. That's what he always does. He found an idol. That's what he always did. Yeah. He was too cocky and too bold and showed his idol.
He should have played it.
Of course he should have played it, but what he should have done is not told anyone like he would usually do.
Exactly. Sorry, that's what I mean. What
he should have done is flipped the arrogance, just tone down his arrogance.
Absolutely.
Just watch, just sit as an observer and take in more information. It's a longer game. It's not 39 days. It's
That's true.
An extra 11 this time around. Observe.
Yeah.
Come Tribal Council. You know it's against you because you're the odd one out, regardless of being on Survivor.
And use the knowledge. Use the knowledge. It's on you.
Yeah, and be comfortable with the fact that, you know what, I'm going to get all the votes tonight, but I'm not going home.
Yeah, but I'm not going home.
And then what happens then is then when you play that idol and everyone just goes, holy shit, Russell's playing a game that we didn't even realise.
Well, the other good thing about that is if you do it that way, the splits happen in council.
Yeah.
They don't get a day to sit around in camp discussing it.
No.
They have to make their mind up then. Oh, he's got an idol. Now we have to vote for someone else. And who are you going to vote for?
Well, no, that's too late. It's too late then because they've all stacked on Russell and Russell's voted out the key person who's holding things together. Russell
but what I'm saying is that's when the splits happen. Like, people go, oh, shit, he had a thing. Who would I have voted? It's when they start thinking. It's when the gears and the paranoia kicks in.
It's when you get someone like Matt going, oh my God, Russell is 3 days ahead of us. We haven't played this game. When that happens in a tribal and you're unaware of it,
it's dynamite.
then you can go to Russell and be like, shit, man, I want to play with you.
Well, the other thing about it is, though, when they come back from that trial, right, Russell's voted out whoever he wanted to, there's going to be cracks because it's going to be, well, he had an idol. What are we going to do if he has an idol next time?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we have to have a plan B.
You have to have a plan B.
And when they start talking about plan Bs that alliances start to crack.
Mm-hmm. And in this situation when you're all trying to get one person and then then there's the cracks you can exploit. Russell tried too aggressively to force a crack. He could have played, and you know what? Coming back from tribal, everyone could have been like, "Whoa, you had an idol." He goes, "Yeah, I needed it. My back was against the wall." All of a sudden now he's an underdog.
That's right.
He's not arrogant. He not
played
aggressive.
it defensively.
He played it in a really save myself kind of way, and also
I'm not really the bad guy you think I am. I'm just playing it to save myself.
I'm playing it to save myself, and he removes the villain. That's stayed with him for 30 years. Oh, not 30 years, for 3 seasons, a decade since he started playing. And that's what he needs to do because we know him so well as a villain. When you come on to a game where there is not much survivor knowledge with players around you that really just know you've played the game and haven't won. That's about it.
Yeah.
You can change your perception. You can't do that in America.
No, they know who he is in America.
American Survivor, Russell has to play aggressively. He has to do that because he has no other option.
He has to make bold moves because they all know him.
But he has to play differently. Yeah, and he's not playing differently.
Absolutely.
Yes, it works the first two.
Look, it's interesting because if you look at Sarah's first season, she was a pretty nondescript player.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a look at her second season, it was a completely different game style. Completely different.
Well, let's also think about...
And Culpepper too.
Yep.
He evolved his style.
And now let's also talk about Sandra.
Yeah, Sandra.
Won once, won twice. The only survivor to do that. Russell got there once, got there twice. Didn't win. Also, in a rare league. Played a third time. Did not get very far. Why? Stacked.
Everybody was against him.
And also against Sandra. How do you let someone who's won twice already win a third time? We would be hideous to get that. How do you let someone who's got to the end twice in a row get to the end 3 times in a row? Now you really need to evolve your strategy. Because you can do it once, then you can do it twice. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me a third time.
Wow.
And that just doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't.
And it didn't happen with Sandra getting her third win. It didn't happen with Russell getting his third time to the end. He had a 4th chance to really change the perception of him, especially here. And he didn't capitalise on that. He came in cocky, arrogant, and it shot himself in the foot in the end because he had a really great opportunity to bring the cockiness and arrogance out 6 days in.
Yeah, true. Look, I'm disappointed that he played. I'm disappointed he didn't play the idol. I think I understand his reasons why. I think he thought he was a good enough player to get away with it.
And well, you're right. He said, I had no other choice. No, he said, he does say, I think we shut it off before he says, so you can always go back and watch it, but he does say why he's like, you think I'm an idiot for playing, but I really didn't have much of an option. Yeah. Because if I didn't play it now, I really have to find, he really has to find
he has to find the next one.
And that's something you don't really want to rely on. And he's played his hand by going too hard too early and tried to force the cracks that did get cracks.
Oh, he got cracks.
He needed one extra, like we said, he needed one extra person or one less person. He was just right in the sweet spot.
He spread the votes more or spread the votes less. Yeah. Either one would have worked for him.
Yeah, and he just picked just picked the wrong number.
But look, it's obvious that his idea of creating chaos and rips in the gaps in the camp worked because
he knows what he's
doing. 4
4
names got written down.
That's something. Right? I don't doubt I reckon he knew exactly what he was doing. I just wouldn't have done it that way because
but I'm just saying,
what Russell does best.
Yeah, but what I mean, he wanted to sow chaos.
Yeah, and he did.
And he did because there were 4 names written down.
Yeah, and he actually says it. He goes, "I could have." When we've already said that, I could have played this. He didn't want to play it that way.
Yes,
because he didn't want to come off sneaky. I guess.
Yeah.
And he wanted to cause chaos in a different way. I reckon he could have came off defensively and actually a really good guy in that moment.
Yeah, maybe. Look, he should have played it. In the end, he didn't because, as you point out, I could see what he was going for. He was trying to get the votes off himself, so that he could keep the idol till the next council, when he was pretty sure he would be the person up again.
Yeah.
Right? And I could see the logic there.
The thought was, it's spot on. He knows where his thought process lies, and he was struggling to get a strong alliance by the sounds of it.
It's not how do I say? I think it's a good plan. It probably just his execution was excellent as well. It's just that, like we pointed out,
he took the risk.
He knew it was a risk too.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, that's the thing. He knew it can, and he says it. This is either going to be great for me or great for one of us, or bad for one of us.
Bad for one of us, and he knew.
And who did it come down to? It came down to Jackie and Russell.
Exactly.
Great for one, bad for the other.
Yeah.
Turned out it was bad for Russell.
Yeah.
He needed that extra vote, and I just think he came to that decision because I reckon he just couldn't stick to. He couldn't connect to anyone as a strong enough alliance.
Exactly.
He got Damien a little bit too late, but everyone was just so against Russell and his arrogance that Damien also didn't have enough pull.
I think one other thing we should point out here is that Russell's instincts for playing the game are excellent. Like, he knew Damien's name was on the block.
Yeah.
As, like, pretty quickly after they decided it was Damien.
Yeah.
You know, like, they were going to vote out Damien, and he was like, I don't want Damien to go.
Yeah.
So he actually
really liked him. Like, that's one of the genuine things I think he actually said. He really respected Damien.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you're in it, especially when you're a Texas and American, and you'd be so patriotic to America and the army, man, and all that sort of stuff, you've got a lot of respect for that side.
Yeah.
And when you come back and you've got a war veteran who's lost both of his legs, and you did see Damien win them that reward challenge.
Oh, absolutely, excellent.
He chucks, he just knocked them all over.
Three off the last
and one of them was at the
other. Yeah, I know. It was like a bowling thing, the possible bowling split.
Yeah, I loved it, and it was just, you know, you got to respect that, and I think Russell genuinely respected Damien there. And
look, I think you're right. Whatever else, I think he did genuinely like Damien. And the other thing is, I think Damien liked him.
Yeah,
you know,
but I just wasn't strong enough. The two people wasn't going to save Russell, and that's why he had to come and try and cause some chaos. Because in his, he didn't have control, and when he's sitting back waiting, getting the votes, I guess in his way he thinks, if he was playing that idol as a defensive idol, because he's never played defensively.
No.
But in playing that defensive idol, it's a really attacking. It's a defensive attack from a different angle if you look at it that way to cause chaos later on.
I think the problem with Russell is Russell's, except for the third season, has always had troops to marshal.
Yeah, and he couldn't do that here.
He couldn't do it here,
and he should have known he can't do this. It's the downfall. It's a bunch of Aussie.
If he could have actually pulled Monica and Sam.
Yeah,
with him,
he would.
That vote would have gone a very different way.
And he wouldn't have even. I reckon if he pulled some strong people into his alliance, he wouldn't have shown his idol.
Yeah, well,
he wouldn't have needed to.
That's right.
He would have used his idol in an aggressive way.
He just didn't have any troops to marshal.
No, and without an army, he didn't know how to manipulate anyone. He tried, but he couldn't, and that's a bit of a shame. But now moving forward, post Russell.
It's going to be difficult to be post Russell, but we've done it before, so we will do it again.
We'll do it again.
Yeah.
Look, to be honest, I never thought I'd get to see him in place of Ivor ever again. I'm lucky I got to see him 2 more times.
One thing I hope Russell's legacy to the champions is this: they've been through their first tribal. They understand now that it's a game of alliances. Mm-hmm. It's not everybody sitting around the campfire singing together.
Yeah, and I really hope. Yeah, I'm with you. I really hope that comes out with Russell.
And they've got to know, given what just happened, that there was potential idol play involved. You can't just have an A.
No. You
have to have a B, and that's when the alliances really start to split up, because you start saying, well, instead of working with all these people, I don't like them. Yeah, but I also don't like you.
If he had his troops, it would have gone so much different. He could have played that idol, and then the next time round, people would be freaking out, and then
that's why I think
they'd want to play B.
Sam, that's where I think Sam's analysis fell down. He was like, oh, well, he plays the idol this time, we all vote him out next time. No, that's not the way it goes. No. Because normally by then, alliances start to form. They understand they need an A and a B.
Yeah.
And the splits really do start to show up.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a shame, but I really just hope that small little taste of having someone who is an experienced Survivor player will help the Champions team start to play the game. It's not going to help the Contenders to play the game just yet, unfortunately. I'm hoping they learn quickly that we need to start playing, because at the moment I'm really kind of disappointed in the gameplay aspect. I'm happy to have it on. I'm happy about the cast, aside from the fact that they're so little Survivor knowledge is frustrating.
Look, I think the other reason that Russell was voted out, to be honest, is, and I think this is why I always say the first 2 episodes I give Survivor a pass on, because I think the other reason that these votes are, or there's not much gameplay before them, is because a lot of people don't actually want to break the barrier of we're all a happy community.
Yeah.
Because they know, there's that barrier there. There's that. To do that, I would have to step outside this circle of warmth, or outside my comfort zone to do this. They're not willing to take that step until the reality is shoved down their throats. A tribal,
also, the barrister also said, "Can't we just do it in a more like humane, civilized manner," or whatever she said. Whereas Russell is very aggressive, and that's why he's never won, because he upsets people in how attacking he is.
Look, when you get a knife in the back, as I'm sure Caesar will tell you, et tu brute, right? Doesn't matter how civil you are about it. Yeah, it's still a knife in the back.
Yeah, you're still not. Yeah,
you're bleeding. You're bleeding all over the floor.
So look, I'm hoping they get some strategy happening. I'm happy with the cast, but I'm hoping some strategy really comes in.
Oh look, the champions definitely needed to go to tribal to get them to realise there's a game on here. Yeah. They can't afford to sit back.
Right? I don't think either of them still realise.
The Contenders. This is why I give them a pass. I go into a lot of reasons why I give pass. The other reason I give a pass to the first couple episodes is because generally there's an easy vote for the first one, right? Like Steve, right? Steve is an easy vote because he did something to stand out.
Yes, but in an American season, you've got an easy vote, but at the same time you're also building your bonds and alliances.
Oh, exactly. But that's not happening.
And that's what frustrates me with 3 seasons in. That still isn't happening.
A lot of that comes down to the camera work. In American Survivor, they're very good at showing you the snippets you need to see to understand who's building alliances with who. I don't know how they do it, but they do it very well.
Yeah, I still just don't think that, and I just think it comes down to, we see it at Tribal so far, that they're not doing it.
I know.
They're not building the alliances.
Look,
the Contenders have their
The problem with the Contenders is they had Steve, then Matt stuck his hand up and said, no, vote me.
Please take me home.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah,
I'm sick of being cold.
I'm sick of being here. Send me
who wants to come here for 50 days?
And the problem is, for the Contenders, is they don't really have to get any knives out, because there's another easy vote.
Yeah.
It's Steve, right?
And I'm okay, like I said, I'm okay with the easy vote, but still form your alliances, still have your plan Bs.
But that's what they won't do, and that's
the problem. Whereas America, they will do.
That's right. With the problem with having the easy vote like Steve is that means, you do it from a social point of view. You sit there and you think, well, that means I don't really have to stab anybody in the back yet, right?
Yeah.
But once Steve's gone, then they've all got to start looking and go, okay, now I need to start stabbing people in the back.
And you should be thinking, it's chess. You've got to be thinking moves ahead. And they're not thinking moves ahead.
They're not. They're just thinking, well, we've got an easy vote till the next one, so I'm just going to think about it after that.
I'm hoping this Contenders versus Champions doesn't stay in this team mentality, which is not good
I'm expecting a split.
Yeah, I'm expecting some mix-ups, and that has to happen.
I think that, in another 2 episodes, we'll probably have something like, either half or something, or I think there'll be something happen like that.
Well, I just hope it doesn't still lead to, there's 3 champions and there's 4 contenders. Let's get it. Let's get
Navidi versus Malala.
Yeah, let's not fall into that strategy or that gameplay. But we'll see what happens.
Well, that's my problem with the barrister in the champions, right? She's very much running the same line that Kyla. No, I don't remember names. I don't remember the girl's name, but she was on the Navidi tribe in the last American season. And all the way through, she was a Navidi strong. Yeah. And Dominic and who was the other guy that was with him?
I just said I don't remember names.
Oh, but they were all Navidi strong. We're going to win this, right?
Yeah.
But she's running the same line. Oh, we've got to keep the tribe strong. We've got to, blah blah blah.
His name starts with W though.
Yeah, Wendell. Yeah, thank you. But she's running the same line.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
keep the tribe
strong. That's not Survivor to me.
That is not Survivor.
Well, look, yes, keep the tribe strong, but up here, That's
exactly.
Survivor's an iceberg.
Yeah,
Tip of the iceberg here. Keep the team strong.
Absolutely.
It's everything that happens.
Everything
underneath.
down there, expendable.
Yeah, but it's everything underneath. It's that
right.
It's that metaphor about the duck who kicks the legs. You can't see all the work the duck's doing under the water to stay afloat.
That's true.
But it floats along. Team is really strong. Keep the team strong. But under this, you've got to be working. And that's what's happening here. They're not working yet. And that's what's happened in the last American season, which is strange. That should not have happened in an American season.
That was really weird.
And in the first Australian season, didn't happen in the second. So I'm hoping we don't fall back to that.
Look, I'm happy not to, but I think, when you have sportsmen that play team sports, like Matt was obviously rugby league.
Brian footy,
right? I think it's a hard mentality to break out of the whole team mentality. I think it's very difficult.
Yeah.
If you set your mentality that this is a team effort, it's very hard to then think individually.
So it's going to come down to someone like, for that team, someone like the Commando,
or
Damien, who are those. That said, they are in a very team environment when you're battling as brothers in arms.
Yeah. But there's also an element there of survival.
The survival.
Maybe you will throw yourself in the grenade to find the squad, but maybe you won't too. And nobody's going to. Jackie might. I mean, no one knows. Look, Jackie. The good thing about Jackie is
she's a really
I think she's quite capable of stabbing them all in the back.
Yeah, I reckon she is, and I think she's probably our one to go to. I reckon. That's why I was hoping she'd team up with Russell.
But that's what. Actually, no.
She's the potential villain.
I think Moana, thank you, is a good match for Jackie because Moana's got that straightforwardness that you think this is what I get, right? What I see is what I get. But it could be a very good front for Jackie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have Moana as the front, right?
And you pull the strings.
And you pull the strings and do all the dirt behind that,
that's an easy good work for her.
That's a great work for her. So I think, I saw them looking at each other in council. So if Jackie's got her eye on Moana as a potential part, it could be a very good matchup.
It's a good two.
Yeah, it's a good two.
Anyway, that's it. Really.
It's the beginning of the season. Russell going is a bit of fireworks. But normally I don't expect much in the way of fireworks for the first two episodes.
Yeah, well, look, Russell staying would have been fireworks to me.
That would have been,
Russell going to have someone of Russell's caliber go out so early on is a really bit of a flat point too. Where that it could have really ramped up the season. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out that way, and now we're back to an Australian season.
Actually, one other thing we should test on before we do finish. What do you think? And we've already discussed this off camera, but we'll do it on camera. What do you think about having an American player every season in Australia?
Oh, look, I'm all for it.
Same here.
I'm all for it.
I think it'd be great.
I think it's great to give us education on the game. I think there's a lot of players who have, again, 3 seasons and haven't done any homework and could do more homework. And not just watch the Australian seasons.
Yeah, exactly.
That's that's why they get so upset that Russell's playing the game. No, you should have been playing the game already.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think, bring back an Aussie, please. You knew that was where
he doesn't mean Australian. He means Aussie, the player from America.
You knew. If I see Russell coming back, surely Aussie's going to be putting his hand up.
Look, I would love them to bring back.
Put money down.
At
the next Australian.
I think I would love to see
if that happens.
Fan favourites come to Australia. I'd love to see Sandra, Boston Rob, Aussie, Sarah, Callie Wentworth. You name it. These are Culpepper. Parvati.
God, who else do we have?
There's just so many.
Malcolm. Zeke.
Right.
There's Richard Hatch for the last
Richard Hatch. Yeah.
We could bring back some classics. James I'd love to see again.
Yes. Malcolm.
I said Malcolm, but who was the other one? Joe.
Oh, Joe. Yeah.
There's a lot of people I want, but first and foremost,
Jay. I want Jay to come back. Jay's a fave for me, but anyway.
But if we're going to bring American survivors in, I definitely want the next one to be Aussie. And if it's Aussie, for the love of God, Channel 10, let me fucking play Survivor. What else can I do for you?
And if it's Aussie, make it a lot of water challenges.
A lot of water challenge. Put me on his team. Let me fanboy. Let me just be on the team with Aussie.
Look, you know what's so funny is, I can see it now. Aussie be walking through the jungle to go and do something manly, right? And Robert be coming behind me like, so what are we going to do, Aussie? What are we doing today?
Here, I'll open the coconut for you, Aussie.
Let me carry that. Aussie, I'll carry that for you.
I've got a splinter Aussie.
You wouldn't be playing the game. You'd be so keen on Aussie.
I know. But look, I do enjoy an American Survivor playing.
Oh, look,
in all reality, yes, of course, I want Aussie back. But I'd love a Sandra. I'd love many people to come and play for our game.
Yep.
And I think it would help educate. I think it would help speed the evolution of the Australian game on.
I'm very impressed with the idea, and I would like to see it continue. Yeah, very.
And on top of that, you know what? Why don't we just do it the other way around as well? Why don't we just get an Aussie?
Oh, but I know where this is going.
Into the American season, because I have applied before to the American
Get the green
season.
card, mate.
Maybe they'd let me play.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it from us, guys.
Yeah.
We'll be back probably sometime mid next week because I'm assuming it's going to be Monday,
Tuesday, I think.
There might be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but maybe let's hope Monday, Tuesday because it's a lot to.
Yeah, it's a lot to get through.
A lot to get through. Two episodes, especially early on when there's a lot of people to discuss.
And we don't know their names.
Yeah, we don't. But anyway, thank you very much for
thanks
tuning
for
in.
watching.
Sorry it's a long one. Sorry we're a little bit yellow and did it so late at night and probably a little bit delusional. But we got there. That's the episode.
That is the episode. We are the Inwits.
I'm Robin.
I'm Jack.
And we will see you next week.
See you next week.